What is up, Packers fans, and welcome back to another episode of the Daily Draft, brought to you by Badger State Brewing in beautiful Green Bay, Wisconsin, just minutes from Lambeau Field. We are so very excited to see you guys there. Friday night, April 26th, 4 o'clock to 5:30, the Pack-A-Day podcast happy hour hosted by Andy Herman. Going to be amazing. And then myself, 5:30 on. That's pick 41, pick 58, pick 88, pick 91, all over at Badger State. Want to talk ball, have a couple brews, see the people. Come on out. I couldn't be more thrilled to be doing this with the guys over at Badger State. Phenomenal product, phenomenal people. I'm just very, very, very excited to meet you guys all. And excited today to be talking about one of the more I would say popular Packers prospects, maybe not at 25. But the first player this year that I heard, call them rumblings. I mean, I've heard that the Packers like this guy, and that's Edgerrin Cooper, the linebacker out of Texas A&M. And it's easy to say why. It's easy to see why. And part of that's a little scary. And I guess the part of it, the part of it that is a little scary is that how darn similar he is to Quay Walker. I still think, and you'll definitely see that in my rankings, that Edgerrin Cooper is a better prospect than Quay was. To me, obviously the Packers didn't feel that way. I don't think I had Quay inside my top 100 when Green Bay took him at 22 overall. So that was a pretty big disparity, right? But I still think Edgerrin Cooper is a cleaner, better prospect. I just think in a 4-3, you'd probably play both guys at will linebacker. Now, maybe they're planning on moving along from Quay, which this is year 3. Next year would be his expiring contract. You could release him after this year if you really felt like doing that. Play him at Mike. Yeah, I don't know, man. I just think they both would probably be a will. And that is just part of kind of the question mark, right? It's can Edge Cooper play Mike? Can Quay play Mike? Are they sick of Quay? There's a lot of just things that sort of come up when you do think about this kid. Size is just okay. A little shade over 6'2", 230 pounds, and that's where you get that will conversation, right? But runs like a corner, man. 4.51 in the 40-yard dash, a 1.56 10-yard split. Literally 97th percentile speed, good long to pair with kind of not being the biggest guy in the world. Long 34-inch arms, good frame, good explosive testing. I don't think we have agilities. Don't know that we're going to get agilities, but good, not great explosive testing. 34.5-inch vertical, and a 68th percentile broad, which is Packers really like the broad jump, but ultimately not big of the deal. Again, it's an incomplete number. We don't have 3-cone or shuttle, but hey, man, he's 6'2" and some change, 230, and runs like a cornerback. So you can understand why they might like him. I would say that speed consistently shows up on film as well. I mean, that's not just track speed. That is sideline to sideline. That is being able to actually carry guys in the pass game in man, which is something that Quay can do in theory, but not in practice. From what I've seen on film, my God, is he an impressive pass rusher? And I think, you run stunts, you loop him, you blitz him like he's an excellent spy. He is very much, I will say, Edge Cooper is very much a pass down linebacker. Because he could Tampa drop, and I don't think the Packers going to run very much Tampa 2, but he can Tampa drop, he can spy, he can blitz, hook curl defender, your basic stuff in zone. But really, like I said, he can carry backs out of the backfield. Like, I'm not saying he's going to lock Christian McCaffrey down. You're just so much less scared of what a Christian McCaffrey can do to your offense out of the backfield as a runner when it's Edge Cooper and it's not Quay or Devondre Campbell. I think an awesome pass down linebacker. In the run game, I would give him like a C+ for instincts. Uh, they're not a huge problem, but he's not like Peyton Wilson. Okay, he's certainly not Junior Colson in that way. Um, I think they're fine. And with him being such a freak athlete, the fact the instincts are fine, you give him a C plus or a B minus, right? Like Quay, I would say, does not have C plus or B minus instincts against the run. And this is turning into a Quay bashing thing. That's not my point, but they're just so similar. And it's like, okay, freak athletes, super speed, both probably play the will in a 4-3. Like they're going to get compared to each other because they're almost going to seem duplicitous if the Packers end up taking both. Um, Finding a way to play them together is going to be important, I guess, and getting more out of Quay is going to be important. He is a 100%, and thankfully he's fast enough to do it and good at it. He's basically 100%. He's got to beat the guy to the spot, and when I mean the guy, the blocker. Maybe he could take on a fullback or a smaller tight end. If a guard or a tackle climbing to the second level gets hands on Edge Cooper, it's going to be a problem. He's not going to fight through that. That's not what he is. In run defense, he needs to beat the blocker to the spot and blow up the play. Thankfully, he's real good at it. But like taking on blocks is just not what he's going to do. He'll slip a block, okay, without removing himself from his gap, which is has been a Packers problem in the past. You play these you got Joe Barry out here playing a man down against the run. Then all of a sudden he's got small linebackers or a nickel trying to make a play in the run game, trying to duck under an offensive lineman, and all of a sudden now they're down 2 gaps because that player just jumped a gap trying to avoid an offensive lineman. Now there are just massive cutback lanes and primary lanes and all sorts of problems that plagued both Pettin and Barry. But I mean, we're kind of being negative to be positive in the sense that Edgerrin Cooper can slip blocks without giving up. He's quick enough. He's literally that quick and fast that he can slip a block or dodge a block without completely giving up gap integrity. And he can beat an offensive lineman to a spot without just being completely reckless and treating every single down like a run blitz. So those are positives. Those are things that we appreciate, sideline to sideline ability. And I got to look at real quick. My notes were that he tackles super well. Let me just quick look at the PFF notes or the PFF stats, excuse me, so we can get the actual like missed tackle percentage and like the totals for missed tackles. I thought I was impressed with his tackling. Looked like 11 missed tackles in 2023 on 609 snaps. It's pretty darn good. Okay. In 2022, he played a ton of snaps as well. Missed 11 tackles. It's kind of his thing. So that's 621 snaps in 2022, missed 11 tackles. Basically 1 per game, or 0.88 tackle missed per game. So he'll get you hurt once, basically. Or he'll miss 2 in a game and then not miss 1 for the rest of the month. All in all, though, I would just say it's fine. The tackling is fine. He's not the best tackler in the class. To me, that's might be Junior Colson, but he is very good at it. And it is certainly by no means a negative. It is by no means a negative on his like his sheet for me. My notes of his. There's nothing negative about Edgerrin Cooper's ability to get guys on the ground. Cons, he's not the biggest guy. And that shows up on film too. I mentioned, like, if he gets squared up by an offensive lineman, that play is kind of over for him. Just because he doesn't, I don't think, do a great job of utilizing his natural pad level. Like, he gets stood up. And it's not often because it's impossible for these big lumbering offensive linemen to get hands on him sometimes. And so that is, unfortunate. But basically, the only thing instincts in the passing game are kind of okay. Like he's one of the rare linebackers that I actually almost prefer in man coverage to zone. He's got some stuff that he could clean up, almost to the point where I almost and he's like Quay in this way because I very much feel this way about Quay. I kind of want him moving forward. I kind of want him blitzing. I kind of want him spying. I kind of want him keying the run. I kind of like or manning up a guy, and that I do not wish for Quay, but like I just wish he was a little cleaner in zone coverage. I wish his awareness was a little bit better, his understanding of route concepts, things like that. Um, he kind of needs one direction. That's why Tampa dropping would probably be fine for him, but they're not going to run all that split safety crap under Halfley or not as much. I would guess there's very little true Tampa 2 that gets run in Green Bay this next season at all. So basically cons are all the size related stuff when it comes to defending the run, even, kind of defending the pass, because it's going to be tough to ask him to guard a guy like Luke Musgrave when he's 6'2". He being Edge Cooper is 6'2" flat. Now, you're only going to guard Luke Musgrave in practice, but there are Luke Musgrave looking humans all over the NFL. So that's it. But yeah, just basically smaller guy, doesn't take on blocks super well. A little bit over aggressive at times, but I kind of like that about him. And he's a ball of knives. I really like him. And then just, he's more of a man coverage guy, which is odd about a linebacker than a zone coverage guy. But ultimately, it's not a huge deal. Okay. Packers fit. If Quay Walker didn't exist, he'd be an amazing fit because he's my number 2 linebacker in the class. I think he'd be great. I think playing either Quay or and I did see what Tazim said. He really thinks Edge is a Mike, and we're fixing to find out. I think if they end up taking him, if they be in Green Bay, I mean, if they end up taking him, I would guess that they would give him the green dot and play him at Mike and see how it goes. Kind of a Nick Barnett, honestly, because I think everybody saw Nick Barnett as a will when he came out of Oregon State, and the Packers put him at Mike. People were like, really? Kind of small for that. He was great. Nick Barnett was my guy. I always got him up to like 98 or 99 overall in Madden too. That was his development track back in the old Maddens, like Madden 02 and Madden 03. But we're getting down the rabbit hole here. Yeah, actually, Nick Barnett's not even that crazy of a comp for Edge Cooper. Anyway, overall, really, really, really like the player. Mention, I have a round 2 on Peyton Wilson. He is my 49th overall player. I have a round 2 on Edgerrin Cooper. He is my 52nd overall player. They are this close. Peyton is linebacker 1 for me. Edgerrin Cooper is linebacker 2. It's just excuse me. We are going to beat this. I'm getting close, guys. I promise. Anyway, Peyton Wilson's linebacker 1 by this tiny little margin. Then there's the guy we just talked about here, Edgerrin Cooper. Then there's like sort of a decent gap to Junior Colson, who I love still. And then there's a reasonably big gap down to Cedric Gray. And those 4, and then there's a monster gap because I just really don't enjoy watching like linebacker 5 to 11. It's really, if Green Bay's not going to do something in a trade or a free agency move that I don't currently understand or see, I would like the Packers to come away with one of Peyton Wilson or Junior Colson or Edge Cooper or Cedric Gray. Find a way to get that done. That would be my hope. But again, like I said, 2nd round grade, 52nd overall player, 9.34 RAS, and my LB2, Edgerrin Cooper. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching or listening. If you're on the podcast side, how can you help us out? Number 1, buy the Green Bay Draft Guide powered by Pack Report. Use promo code DAILY. That's DAILY, as in the daily draft. That'll get you 10% off. That guide is just awesome. It really is. Just sent out an update. There's a couple errors we didn't catch in the first round of editing. So we don't stop. Right. We make it right. We make it, the way you guys deserve. You spend your good hard-earned money on it. Of course, we get a piece of that. We love you. Appreciate you for that. We just sent out an update to it. But that thing's awesome, folks. It really is. Do everything you're supposed to do here. Follow me on Twitter, X, whatever, at Ross Uglem. Follow us over at Pack Report 66. I think we still got 60% off going VIP over there, going crazy. And then do everything you're supposed to do here. Like, subscribe, click the bell, get the notifications so that you can get every single bit of Packers content that you require on a daily basis, as is the name of both the Daily Draft and the Pack a Day podcast. It is daily. Have a great rest of your day, folks. Go Pack Go.